Good day, dear brothers and sisters. I want to bring you an encouraging word this morning. Jesus said in Luke 9:23, if any man will follow me, he needs to deny himself and take up his cross daily. Then he goes down and talks about not being ashamed of him. Many times when we are blessed by the Lord and God has blessed us, maybe we live in a secure society where everything is provided, or we've just been blessed by the Lord. A lot of people, they cling on to the blessing. But for you to have a life of impact, to touch other people like Abraham was blessed, Genesis 12:1-3, but he, in Genesis 22, when Isaac came, he left the blessing, he put it on an altar. He sacrificed the blessing to give us a life of impact, because it's not a coincidence that in Genesis 22 God was saying, I swear by myself that through you all the nations of the earth will be blessed. And it was when he placed Isaac on the altar. Every time God blesses you, that blessing should not become an idol. Many people get the blessing of God, even the prosperity of God, the influence of God, and they hang on to it. And the ideology that says that, following Jesus is about comfort. Yet God will bless you, but you must be prepared to lay it down, is what Jesus is saying. Lay down the ego, lay down the rights, so that you can have a life of impact. Look at Jacob, for example. Jacob, he got the blessing, he got the birthright, but he had to go through the school of Laban to learn how not to struggle for things. And an angel wrestled with him, and he couldn't walk again. He had to learn to depend on God. Isaac's wells were being filled with dirt in Genesis 26, and he kept digging, he kept denying himself, refusing to get into strife. If your life is going to be a life of impact, you must be like Esther. She was comfortable, but Mordecai said, maybe you are brought to the kingdom for a time like this. If we cannot sacrifice the blessing, if we cling on to all the things God has given us and we are not stretching, we will touch nobody, we will live for ourselves and die for ourselves. That's not the will of God for you. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. His life meant so much for him. He didn't want to be associated with this guy, Jesus, going to die the death of a criminal. He was ashamed of Jesus. They cock crowd 3 times. But the same Peter, after he was converted on the day of Pentecost, didn't care. He laid down everything. 3,000 were saved. Paul said, I do not count my life even dear to myself. Everything is like dung. If we're not willing to lay down the blessing, lay down the ego, go the extra mile, walk on the water, walk where our feet will not touch the ground, will make no impact. So, friend, comfort and wealth is not a sign that God is in your life. There are many people who are comfortable, who are wealthy, who don't know Jesus. The real impact of a Christian life is who you can touch, who you can reach out to. When you're willing to sacrifice what you have to go higher, to go deeper with God. A life of impact is what you are called to do. Don't light the candle and put it under a bushel. Let me round up by saying this to you. A man came to the Lord one time in an illustration I want to give you. He said, Jesus, I love you. And Jesus said, what do you have in your hand? He said, it's my car key. And Jesus said, bring it to me. And said, what has my car key got to do with walking with Jesus? What will I tell my children? He said, bring your children to me. What will I tell my wife? Bring your wife to me. What will I have to live in my office by myself? He said, bring your office to me. Every blessing we must be ready to lay on the altar of sacrifice so we can make a life of impact. The Lord bless you. We'll be having a great time in HAUGESUND. Difficult name to call, and God has been blessing our meeting. If you're in the area, please join us 12 o'clock today, and the Lord bless you. Bye-bye.